Hello, my name is Springett. I'm a Buddhist therapist and teacher, and I have specialized in helping people with Kundalini symptoms. I myself have been in the Kundalini process for over 30 years, and so I have experienced a lot of challenges in that process, but even more so I've experienced a lot of rewards and the most wonderful blessings. Today I would like to talk to you about the topic, where do Kundalini problems come from and how long will they last? First of all, we need to understand that Kundalini is not a disease. It is not something that happens to us like a virus and gives us symptoms and we need to cure it and then everything will be good again. This is not what Kundalini does. What Kundalini does is it's amplifying all the conflicts that were there already before we had Kundalini. Or another way of saying that is to say Kundalini is rising our awareness to a point that we can now perceive problems and conflicting emotions and intentions to a degree that it in a way creates symptoms for us and creates an urge to resolve the problem. Now that might be uncomfortable, but in principle that is a good thing. So we need to go away from an idea that somehow we have some sort of plumbing system in us with channels and pipes and energy gets blocked here and there. That is a much too materialistic view. We need to see the Kundalini problems very clearly as arising from our own conflicting impulses, our own inner conflicts. And when we do this, then it will have the benefit that we stop seeing ourselves as a victim of this process. Because if we do see ourselves as a victim of anything, it creates anger, it creates depression, and that will just be added to our problems. So it is important to say, whatever I experience in the Kundalini process, it's just me, it's my amplified conflicts. And there is nobody to blame for that. And that in itself will help to alleviate that sense of being, at the mercy of a force that somehow hurts us or is not good. And it also, this view helps us to reduce fear. Because if we know that all these problems that we experience in the Kundalini process comes from our own mind, then there's a lot less to be afraid of. For example, when we have paranormal experiences, we might, have some experiences of very frightening visions or something. But if we understand that it's just my own amplified emotions, or we might hear voices, I'm not mad, it just appears as if a voice is speaking to me, but it is really my own mind that is so stronger and more amplified than before. And both these things will help us to be a lot more motivated to tackle these problems, to say, okay, if this comes from my own mind, then all I need to do is to resolve these inner conflicts, and we might feel much more motivated to do that, and that is of course good. Having said that, more awareness in the Kundalini process is of course can be very challenging, because we might discover parts of ourselves that we would rather not be aware of. For example, sexist ideas or megalomaniac ideas, and so that can be a challenging part of this awareness. But the answer for that is to have a very strong, compassionate attitude towards ourselves. Be very kind to ourselves and not beat ourselves up only because we found parts of ourselves that are a little bit fishy, not very nice. So the worst thing that we can do in this process is to suppress this material that comes up from our unconscious mind. Instead, we should be willing positively to embrace this material and go to work and start to resolve that, either by ourselves or with the help of somebody who knows how to help us in this process. If we do suppress these things that come up in our mind, what will happen, it will be repressed, and then it will create the many physical symptoms that we experience in the Kundalini process. For example, pain in different parts of our body, or sense of energy churning, or a sense of an energy block. All these physical symptoms, they are not physical things. It's very important to understand that they come from our unconscious mind, from our repressed emotions, from our unresolved conflicts in the relationships that we have at this very moment, in the attitudes or through the attitudes that we have at this present moment. So the most central inner conflict that we all have, everybody has that, is the conflict between love and selfishness. So the question is, shall I make myself happy and not care so much about others, or shall I care more about others and not look after myself? And that is an ongoing balancing act. And somebody who has this question resolved in a very, very balanced way is very far developed on their spiritual path. But in most people it goes like this and like this. They either put themselves before other people, which is selfishness, and then that creates a lot of problems, or they do the opposite. They're very self-sacrificing and put other people first, and then that leads to numerous problems as well. So that's our most central conflict, and in the Kundalini process this conflict will be brought really strongly to the fore and demands to be addressed and to resolved more thoroughly than we've done before. And the next question is, how long will these Kundalini symptoms or challenges go on for? And the simple answer to that is forever. So the Kundalini is not a disease that will stop at some point. However, if we are able to resolve our inner conflicts, then there will be a lot of rewards in the Kundalini process. So we will experience bliss, rapture, supernatural powers, healing abilities, the ability to manifest our dreams. And so there's a lot of wonderful things to look forward to, but obviously the challenge is to resolve our inner conflicts. And so that is why there is this challenge that at the beginning of the Kundalini process that it throws up our inner conflicts, and the more quickly we can resolve them, and hopefully with some guidance or by yourself, that can happen within a few months, maybe a year. The first lot of the biggest conflicts are resolved, and then the more positive parts of the Kundalini can come to the fore. And I just want to end this video with a little quote of Garma Chang, who wrote the book Teachings and Practice of Tibetan Tantra, and he writes at length about the different symptoms that can come up in the Kundalini process, which is called Tummo in Tibetan Buddhism. And he says we should know that all these hindrances are actually helps and good signs of our devotions, and they indicate that we are definitely making progress on the path. Thus we should congratulate ourselves and gladly accept the challenges. And that is of course true. The more willingly we can accept these challenges, the easier our development will be with the Kundalini. Okay, I hope you liked the video. Please subscribe to my channel. The link is here, or if you want to know more, you can click the link here. I have written a book about Kundalini, which is called Enlightenment Through the Path of Kundalini, that you can find on my website, through the link down here. And do share the video, like it, share it with your friends, leave a comment. I would be very glad if you did. Thank you for listening.